Hey guys, so I've been sitting on this for a little while now. When I first started doing this stuff, everything that was on the channel was stuff that I had a relatively deep interest in and were things I was paying for out of pocket, right? So if I'm paying for it out of pocket, video is probably going to happen. There's a lot of stuff that I never got around to, but that's kind of how it worked. And then as we progressed, folks start hitting me up and asking if I want to take a look at their products, which is awesome. Super honored to do it. But sometimes I'm hesitant, not because I have any doubts in the product, but because I don't know how to do it justice. So in all honesty, this is kind of one of those products. I'm not a huge sling guy. I have slings on weapons, but unless there's something glaringly wrong with it, I probably won't change it, right? So Eastern Shore Sling Company hit me up and they wanted me to take a look at it. And I was very hesitant just because it's his labor, his materials, and I don't know how to pitch a sling really, right? Because there's so many options nowadays, and they're all very good, right? There's a lot of really good sling options out there. So what I want to do for Eastern Shore Sling Company is kind of hit on what makes his product unique and what I appreciate about it. And I think this will do it justice, right? So he hit me up and he asks like what's it going on, what hardware do you have on your rifle? There's a little bit of back and forth there. So the big takeaway here is all of the hardware on his slings, at least everything that I'm aware of, is hard mounted to the sling. So you can see down on the stock end, he's got the sewn in paracord, which obviously I have it running through a QD slot, so that's another option. I could have asked for that. I'm kind of a big fan of the paracord. Some folks maybe not, right? Some folks are smarter than me, also probably not, but I like it. It's low profile, it's very adaptable. It'll fit on essentially anything you ask it to. Right? And then at the other end, he's got a sewn in Blue Force Gear, I think universal loop is what they call these, with the little metal cable that locks into your piece of hardware here. And so why does that matter? Well, it really cuts down on the rest of the hardware, right? Because these are hard mounted, there's no tri-glides or buckles or anything to mount that. It's just webbing sewn to webbing, right? And same thing on the stock end, right? The paracord or whatever you ask for down there is sewn in as well. So the only hardware on this sling is this one metal D-ring for policing up the slack on the takedown, and then your friction device here to lock that in, right? So that's it. We got a shipment of tactical Taylor slings back in the day. Nothing against Tactical Taylor, they make good stuff, but we legitimately couldn't figure out how to mount these slings. They had hardware up here, they had hardware on the stock end, they had hardware for the adjustment. If I'm making a guess, there were probably 6 or 7 pieces of hardware on this sling, and we just couldn't figure it out. It was a mess. I think it was like an adjustable 2-point sling at the end of the day, but we couldn't figure out how to mount it. So I appreciate the simplicity there. And then it just makes, the function of the sling so easy, right? You pull this tab, it takes out slack. You pull this piece here, and obviously I don't have any tension on the sling, so it's not gonna just run out on me. But then you get your slack back, and that's it. And I'm not one to move around slings, right? If I've got a weapon that doesn't have a sling, I'm gonna buy a sling, put it on there, and it's gonna stay there until I don't like it. So the hard mounted hardware, I'm a big fan of, and then the overall simplicity, right? I really don't have any negatives about this sling. It's perfectly functional. It does the 2-point job well, and it takes the slack out really well. So definitely recommend you guys check out Eastern Shore Sling Company. I will try to put a link on this video, but it's it's a solid sling, and it's very simple and very drama free. So thanks for him for sending it out, and hopefully I did it justice. I know I'm not, you know, one of the big IG shooters, right? But a sling's a sling, and I think it does its job very well.